As a penis surgeon with over 3 decades of experience helping men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s reclaim their strength and confidence, I need to tell you something that may surprise you. Not every vegetable in your fridge is working in your favor. In fact, a few common ones often praised as heart-healthy might be the very reason you're feeling tired too early in the day, losing muscle, or waking up without that familiar signal of vitality you once had. I've seen this story play out in hundreds of men who are doing everything right. They eat their greens, stay active, and avoid junk food, yet their energy fades. Hormone balance collapses, and that deep sense of masculinity grows quiet. What if the real problem wasn't age or lifestyle, but 3 specific vegetables that quietly interfere with your hormone health, throw off your testosterone balance, and worsen issues with your prostate or urinary strength? A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that certain foods can influence the production of free testosterone not by adding hormones, but by either supporting or blocking key nutrients. That's what we're about to uncover. If this hits close to home, leave a comment below and stay with me, because by the end, you'll see these vegetables in a whole new light. Let me tell you about James, a retired school principal from Ohio. 68 years old, sharp-minded, happily married, and doing what most doctors would call everything right. When he first walked into my office, he looked healthy on the outside, but as he sat down and exhaled, I noticed something was missing in his expression. "Doctor," he said quietly, "I'm not sick, but I'm not me anymore." James ate clean. He avoided red meat, stayed away from dairy, and replaced them with tofu, soy milk, and veggie-based meals. He walked every morning, did light weights, and never missed a checkup. Yet somehow, his body was slowing down. His energy dropped by noon. His muscles felt weaker, and the spark in his personal life was gone. We ran some simple blood work, and there it was. His testosterone levels were at the low end, and surprisingly, his estrogen was elevated for a man his age. This was not a disease. It was a dietary imbalance caused by misinformation, and it's more common than you think. James had swapped bad foods for good ones, but without realizing it, he was feeding his body exactly what it didn't need at this stage of life. And what was most surprising, the culprit wasn't junk food. It was soy, a vegetable he thought was his greatest health ally. James's case isn't unique, if anything. It shows how important it is for men over 60 to understand how certain foods can quietly sabotage their testosterone boost. And that brings us to the first vegetable we need to talk about, a so-called health food that may be doing more harm than good. Vegetables to avoid. Number 1. Soy. Soy has long been advertised as a heart-healthy food, especially for men trying to reduce red meat and cholesterol. Tofu, soy milk, edamame, they seem innocent, even smart. But for men over 60, this health swap may actually be working against your body's hormonal needs. Soy is high in phytoestrogens, which are plant-based compounds that mimic the effects of estrogen in your body. And while these compounds are harmless in small amounts, for aging men with naturally declining testosterone, they can tip the hormonal balance in the wrong direction. When testosterone dips with age, your body becomes more sensitive to anything that shifts the scale. Adding estrogen-like substances, even from plants, can accelerate the decline. You may not notice it at first, but slowly, You'll feel your vitality drop, your muscle tone fade, and your sense of masculinity begin to dull. This is exactly what happened with James. He thought soy was helping him. Instead, it was flooding his system with hormone signals that confused his body's natural rhythm. What's even more concerning is that soy sneaks into your diet in ways you might not expect. It's found in protein bars, meat substitutes, processed snacks, salad dressings, and many so-called plant-based products. Food labels rarely mention the hormonal impact. They only show low fat, high protein, or heart healthy. But behind those labels is a compound that might be softening your energy, lowering your testosterone boost, and affecting your prostate health over time. Does this mean you should never eat soy again? Not necessarily. But for men over 60, especially those feeling fatigued, foggy, or disconnected, it's smart to be mindful. Rotate in clean protein sources like wild-caught fish, free-range eggs, or lean chicken, and avoid relying on soy as your daily staple. The goal isn't to eliminate everything. It's to reclaim hormonal balance by eating for your body's true needs. Testosterone isn't just about strength or muscle. It affects how clearly you think, how well you sleep, and how connected you feel to your body. And when soy creeps into your routine too often, it can quietly disrupt that connection. It's not a poison, but in excess, especially at this stage in life. It may be one of the reasons you don't feel like yourself anymore. That's why the next vegetable might shock you even more, because it's probably something you've trusted for years as a healthy, natural choice, but in its modern form. It may be causing silent inflammation that cuts off blood flow right where you need it most. Vegetables to avoid. Number 2. Corn. Corn is one of the most trusted staples in American households. It reminds us of family barbecues, summer festivals, and backyard meals. But as a penis surgeon, I need to tell you the truth that doesn't show up in commercials. The problem isn't the fresh corn you grill at a cookout. It's the highly processed corn products like corn syrup, corn oil, margarine, and corn starch that quietly disrupt your body's ability to stay energized, balanced, and hormonally stable after 60. Let me introduce you to Robert, a 62-year-old patient who followed every health trend with discipline. He swapped butter for margarine, avoided fried foods, and stayed away from red meat. Still, he came to my office exhausted, aching, and frustrated by the slow breakdown of his body. His concern wasn't just about fatigue or occasional joint pain. It was deeper. His circulation was slowing down, and he no longer felt pressure in the areas where blood flow mattered most. After reviewing his habits and lab work, the answer became clear. Robert's diet was overloaded with omega-6 fatty acids, especially from corn-based oils and processed spreads. The human body needs omega-6s, but in balance with omega-3. When that balance tips too far, the result is chronic low-grade inflammation. This type of inflammation damages the lining of your arteries, the endothelium, reducing your body's ability to produce nitric oxide, which is essential for keeping blood vessels relaxed and open. Why does that matter for you? Because when nitric oxide production falls, blood flow slows down in all the wrong places. That means less oxygen, less performance, and a feeling like your power switch is stuck in the off position. Worse still, this type of inflammation has been linked to prostate enlargement. memory issues, and rising urinary frequency in older men. Robert's transformation came not from a prescription, but from a plate. We cut out processed corn oils, swapped margarine for grass-fed butter, and boosted his intake of omega-3s from fish and walnuts. Within a few weeks, he told me he felt like someone had unclogged the pipes. His joints were looser. His mind was clearer, and that quiet signal in the morning began to return. You don't have to throw away every product in your pantry, but read the labels. Look for corn oil, corn syrup, or vegetable oil blends, and consider what they may be doing inside your arteries. Because the third vegetable we're about to uncover, it's even more surprising. It's something you likely drink in smoothies every day, thinking it's protecting you when it may actually be stealing the very mineral your testosterone boost depends on. Vegetables to avoid. Number 3. Raw spinach. You probably think spinach is one of the healthiest greens on your plate, and in many ways, it is. It's rich in iron, magnesium, fiber, and vitamins. But what most men over 60 don't realize is that when spinach is eaten raw, especially in large amounts, it can interfere with one of the most important minerals for your testosterone boost, zinc. Let me tell you about William, a 67-year-old marathon enthusiast who blended a big green smoothie every morning. He added raw spinach, kale, flaxseed, and a scoop of plant protein. His diet looked perfect on paper, but despite eating superfoods, William complained that his libido dropped, his muscle tone softened, and he felt a growing disconnect from his body. His blood work showed that although he consumed plenty of zinc-rich foods, his actual zinc levels were low. That's when we looked at oxalates. Raw spinach is high in oxalates, natural compounds that bind to minerals like zinc in your gut and flush them out before your body can absorb them. You're eating healthy, but your body is being robbed of nutrients at the same time. Zinc is critical for testosterone production, prostate function, immune strength, and muscle repair. And unlike magnesium or iron, zinc is especially sensitive to how food is prepared. So what's the fix? It's not to avoid spinach altogether, but to change how you prepare it. Light cooking like steaming, sautéing, or boiling can reduce oxalate content significantly, making the zinc in your food easier to absorb. After switching from a raw smoothie to a spinach omelet, William saw his testosterone rise naturally, his energy return, and most importantly, that sense of grounded masculinity come back. This is a small shift, but one that matters greatly. As we age, the margin for error becomes smaller. The way you cook your food isn't just about taste, it's about accessibility of nutrients. You might be eating all the right things, but still not absorbing what your body truly needs. That's why for men over 60, especially those struggling with low energy, poor focus, or hormonal shifts, preparation matters as much as ingredients. Spinach is still a valuable food, but raw in large daily doses. It could be undermining your testosterone without you knowing it. Now that we've cleared the air about which vegetables may be hurting your hormone health, let's focus on the ones that can help. These aren't expensive superfoods or exotic powders. They're simple, natural, and often overlooked. But when prepared the right way, they can quietly restore circulation, hormonal stability, and male vitality, especially after 60. The first is beets. This earthy root vegetable is one of the richest sources of natural nitrates. Once inside your body, those nitrates convert into nitric oxide, the molecule that helps blood vessels relax, expand, and deliver oxygen efficiently. For men experiencing sluggish mornings, weak pressure, or dull energy, nitric oxide is critical. A study from the Journal of Nutrition found that beet juice improved vascular function and lower body blood flow in older adults within days. But here's the key: pickled or canned beets lose much of their power. To benefit, eat them roasted, steamed, or fresh grated in salads. The second hero is broccoli, not just for fiber, but for its hormone-cleansing power. Broccoli contains sulforaphane, a compound that helps the liver detox excess estrogen and supports testosterone balance. It also lowers inflammation, which improves prostate and urinary health. But sulforaphane is delicate. Microwaving or overcooking broccoli destroys it. That's why men over 60 should steam it lightly or eat it raw with a healthy dip. Lastly, we have white button mushrooms. These humble mushrooms contain natural aromatase inhibitors compounds that prevent the enzyme aromatase from turning testosterone into estrogen. Think of them as a shield, preserving what testosterone your body still makes. You don't need to eat them daily. Just sautéing a handful a few times a week can help protect hormone balance and keep your energy stable. Together, these three vegetables form a powerful trio: beets for blood flow, broccoli for hormonal detox, and mushrooms for testosterone preservation. They're not magic, but they're rooted in science and decades of patient success stories. For men over 60 who want to feel strong without depending on pills, these vegetables may be your body's quiet allies. And if you're still with me, there's one final tip that ties it all together: a simple mineral that most men overlook, but which plays a hidden role in how much testosterone your body can actually use. Most men over 60 have heard of zinc and magnesium, but very few know about boron, a trace mineral that plays a crucial but quiet role in hormonal health. Boron doesn't increase testosterone directly. Instead, it helps reduce SHBG sex hormone binding. Globulin, a protein that binds testosterone and makes it inactive. Think of SHBG as a lock and your testosterone as a key. When testosterone is bound, it can't do its job. Boron lowers SHBG levels, which frees up more testosterone in your bloodstream, the kind that gives you energy, clarity, and stability. That's called free testosterone. And it's what really matters when it comes to how you feel every day. You don't need supplements to get boron. It's found naturally in foods like raisins, dates, prunes, and avocados. Just a handful of raisins in the morning or a few dates with your evening snack can make a meaningful difference. It's a simple shift, but one that helps you maximize the hormones your body is already producing. Now that we've covered what to avoid, what to include, and how to enhance hormone use, let's tie it all together in a way that makes action easy and lasting. By now, you've seen the full picture. You've learned how three common vegetables, soy, processed corn, and raw spinach, can quietly undermine your hormonal health, especially after 60. You've also discovered how beets, broccoli, mushrooms, and even the overlooked mineral boron can help you restore what time and misinformation may have taken away. This isn't about fear or guilt. It's about awareness. Your body is not broken. Testosterone isn't gone. It's just waiting for the right support. Every time you sit down to eat, you have a choice. Not a drastic one, but a meaningful one. One that builds momentum. One that tells your body, I still believe in you. As a penis surgeon, I've seen men come back from a place of doubt, fatigue, and silence simply by making small, consistent changes. You don't need pills. You don't need perfect discipline. You just need to know what your body truly needs right now. So here's what I ask. If this video helped you connect the dots, leave a comment below. Type the word READY if you're ready to start shifting your habits. And share this with another man who may be quietly struggling. You might be the reason he finds his way back. Click subscribe. Hit the bell. Because we're not done yet. There's more to uncover and more strength to restore.